Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin once again. Thank you for your support. Okay, I hope you had a really good Saturday and I hope you have a really good Sunday. So, you know I like doing these thought experiments on the channel. Okay, so I will jump into Bitcoin in a moment. This is a dollar. This is DXY. Now, you probably heard the terminology of supercycle, a Bitcoin's crypto supercycle. How this particular cycle is changing from the previous one, and that we may enter a supercycle where we do see Bitcoin push up to $1 million plus over the next few years. And these 4-year cycles that Bitcoin's going through, which is a catalyst through the halving, which you're fully aware of, creates the momentum to the upside because of the supply shock, basically. So you know all of that. I'll drop some links to a particular video by Dan Held and his supercycle theory, okay, and Willie Woo as well. They both agree that this particular cycle is very different from the previous cycles. It's already showing signs of that with this correction as well. You know, the fact that we've gone through this sort of correction so far and we're starting to pick up. Now, you know, we're not fully completely out of the woods yet. You know, we've got resistance levels and a potential of a dead cat bounce and an ABC pattern, and you're fully aware of all that. We may enter a mini bear market, so to speak, which would again make this cycle different from the previous ones, which would potentially give more bias to the fact that we may be entering a super cycle. Now, something I want to show you for Bitcoin right now, well, on the DXY, sorry, is actually quite negative for the DXY. And this would give precedent to the fact that we could see a super cycle for crypto, where a lot of money flows into crypto as potentially a safe haven against the dollar, which is falling, obviously, through inflation. Now, there is obviously the deflation theory on the dollar as well, where we do see the price of the dollar creep up and set new highs, and we get that deflationary model for the dollar. But what I want to show you for the dollar so far, you know, it is in a bearish pattern. It's in a bearish continuation pattern, which you're fully aware. But there is also something else which I'm going to show you, which would give a massive sort of bias towards the fact that we could be entering a super cycle for crypto, or on the verge or on the cusp of it. And I'll show you exactly why in a moment. Okay, so right now I'm just going to remind you on the daily time frame here for the DXY, the dollar. Okay, you got this rising wedge which we broke out of, you're fully aware. We gave you that target. This is your breakdown target, the neckline where you form the rising wedge, you're fully aware. Yeah, and if you do start to lose that level of support, potentially you're going to come down and retest this level of support in this horizontal that you find yourself in, which is basically a continuation pattern. Okay, if you come up into it, there's a 68% chance you're going to continue to the upside. You know, if you're falling into it, there's a 68% chance you're going to continue to the downside. Through, I forget, Thomas Bawalski, I think that's his name. He done all this technical analysis and percentages calculations many years ago on these particular patterns. So basically, yeah, we're in a continuation pattern, and not only that, we've got all this hidden bearish divergence on the daily time frame as well. So you can see at the moment it's playing out. You've got this bearish divergence here, and lo and behold, that's played out as well. Okay, so do anticipate that if you do start to see this pump, okay, and come back up to test key levels of resistance, this is where you could potentially see that a little bit of a pullback for Bitcoin in the market, which would be healthy for Bitcoin, to be honest with you, because it's getting a little bit overextended at the moment. But who knows, it could absolutely go through this level of resistance that it's under and absolutely melt faces and just break out here and enter this super cycle that we're talking about. So what I'm going to do is show you something. Okay, so right now you can see, let's take a look at this on the weekly. To me, okay, just looking at that weekly, that's one massive bear flag, bear pennant, I do apologise. This is one massive bear pennant, so I'm just going to calculate off the bat, you know, from a level just there down to there, is potentially you can see the loss of support. And this is where you could see the dollar fall down to sort of 79 on the DXY index just here. Okay, so that's a potential play. But something else I want to show you right now, which is really bearish for the dollar and for the DXY. And this is why I always say to you, if in doubt, zoom out. So let's take a look at the dollar on the monthly right now, okay? This is, don't forget, this is a thought experiment. It's not financial advice or it means it's going to happen or anything like that. It's a simple thought experiment right now for the DXY. So this particular signal just there, this is called a death cross, a sell and go to the beach signal from CoinsKid just there. You see this on the monthly time frame. This has massive significance. The more you zoomed out on the time frame and that this prints a signal, the more value it has. Okay, remember that. So on any time frame, you see that you're entering a downtrend, and right now you're in the downtrend. You're hitting resistance. You're rolling over. You're carrying out bearish patterns just here for the DXY. You're in a horizontal. I mean, look at this on the monthly. That's a bear pennant if ever I've seen one. Okay, so it's looking for continuation, unless obviously it can break this level of resistance, break up, see you later. You can see that what you've done here on the monthly is you've broken this level of resistance, this horizontal, and you've come up and you've hit your head almost on the 20 EMA on the monthly time frame. This particular signal right here is really bearish. Okay, it's called a death cross. It's when the 20 crosses the 55 on any time frame. That's confirmation of a downtrend, basically, and lo and behold, that's what you're in. So, you know, the dollar, in my opinion, is looking like it's going to fall even further. You've got your breakdown target. Now, this particular instance just here, this is why I do anticipate that the further upside for Bitcoin and crypto, potentially when we lose support over DXY, this is where you will see the continuation of the bull run for crypto, just like here. You know, you got the bull run for crypto, went sideways, chopper, consolidated, continuation. You're fully aware of that, yeah? So right here, what I want to show you is the last time that the dollar printed this particular signal, okay, was really bad for the dollar. It went into a 5-year bear market. I'm going to show you exactly when that happened, okay? Now, again, it's not financial advice and it's just a thought experiment, but just because it's happened before doesn't necessarily mean it'll happen again. I know a lot of people are hedging with deflation around the corner next year, but let's take a look at this, okay? You got your bearish cross way back there in 2003. You entered a bear market under resistance for 5 years just there until, yeah, March 2008. So a 5-year bear market. What we're going to do as a thought experiment is from this point here, we're going to take this particular death cross and we're going to copy the bear market scenario, okay, in the price action. But again, this is just a thought experiment, okay? But this is what I'm trying to say to you, this would give precedence to the fact that we may be entering that sort of super cycle for crypto over the next few years. No one knows, no one's got a crystal ball, but you can see with this, basically, if we continue to do this, you are continuing with the trend on a multi-year time frame where you're creating these lower highs and lower lows. Do you see that? Until potentially you bottom out, then you start to see deflation, okay? So this is a potential play. So right now, this would give precedence to the fact that Bitcoin is absolutely going to go on from here. It's not going to be an easy ride, but it's going to appreciate against the dollar, isn't it? Because the dollar's falling, and obviously with inflation, when things fall against the dollar, they go up in value, basically. So yeah, you're looking at a 64.771 on the DXY by 2026, potentially, because you've just printed the death cross there. The last time you printed that was in 2003. Look, you had that sort of triple top. Look at that, triple top, bit of a rollover, and you rolled over and create the death cross. Triple top, roll over, death cross, boom. Multi-year bear market for the dollar. But again, honestly, don't take what I'm saying as financial advice. I'm just saying what I'm seeing, okay? This is continuing with the trend like this, okay? So it's just a thought experiment. So this would give precedence to the fact that you could be looking at a multi-million-dollar Bitcoin token price appreciation and a multi-trillion-dollar market capitalization for crypto in itself. Now with that, I know this is the ultra bullish scenario, but all I'm doing is saying what I'm seeing, okay? This is the ultimate bullish scenario. It's not going to be an easy ride, and there will become times where you think we're in a bear market for Bitcoin, but just like the Supercycle theory by Dan Held and Willy Woo, they do think that the particular bear markets and drawbacks that we're going to have are going to be different. And potentially, have we already seen a sort of the signal of that in this correction that we've just had for Bitcoin, where it's not actually entered the bear market? It was a whopping correction, but it failed to enter the bear market because the buying pressure and the selling pressure is so low that the buying pressure is so high that it's outweighing, you know, and it's pushing us up, basically. So it's just a thought experiment for a Sunday afternoon, you know, for those that like thought experiments that I do on this channel. I'm always doing them. So this is a potential play, isn't it? And you could see, you know, this could give precedence to the fact that we are continuing with this downtrend, these lower highs and lower lows for the DXY until we do bottom out, potentially. You know, this is a major bearish signal, the death cross on the monthly time frame. It has a massive amount of substance, okay, and you can see that this is why I am still bearish on the DXY, and why I do see the continuation of the bull run for Bitcoin here and crypto. And this is a full transparency. All I'm doing is saying what I'm seeing, okay? I'm not feeding you no spiel, no bullshit. I'm saying what I'm seeing, and that is the truth of it, okay? So this is a potential play. Would be nice, because that means, you know, that everyone that's hoarding crypto is onto a winner, basically. But again, not financial advice. So anyway, that's the Supercycle theory backed up with the DXY falling. So right now I'm just going to jump into Bitcoin then on the 4-hourly time frame and see what we can see, okay? I said the 4 hourly, but whilst I'm here on the monthly, I might as well take a look at it. I mean, you can look how beautiful Bitcoin looks, bouncing off this. Look at this level of support, the monthly 20 EMA creeping up. Like I said to you, you fall below that, you're in a bear market, and right now you can see that you're bouncing up off it. Potentially, you know, you could roll over here and come back down and bounce off its support, but if you do bounce it off its support, you can see that the actual level of support is creeping up over time. So those calling for a 20k, 15k, 14k, 10k Bitcoin, you know, it's not there at the minute, is it, in this correction that we're going through? You're looking at a 29,316 as a last level of support before you do get that confirmation bias of entering a bear market. Because like I've shown you, when you fall through these EMAs, the 20 on the monthly, you are essentially in a bear market right here. Okay, so yeah, it's looking good, it's looking well. So what we're going to do is zoom in on the 4 hourly time frame right now for Bitcoin. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame right here, then you can see that it is running into a bit of a brick wall, and we didn't anticipate this particular level coming to play as a level of resistance right here, because obviously it's a level of resistance of this trend line, which we did say to you potentially, you know, in the future you could do something like this, where you come back and you create this inverse head and shoulders, where you have the breakout and come up to retest this. Okay, as well, I've seen a theory that we're looking at this bump and run. Okay, that's another theory which is very similar to this inverse head and shoulders play that we've got on the cards, but I won't go too deep into that at the moment. But if we was to get a retracement here, I want to reassure you that it would be perfectly healthy, providing we can hold a key level of support, okay, and come back down to a particular level of support, i.e. the EMAs on the daily, and hold them, because right now you've painted the best signal you can paint for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. Okay, because like I said to you, this signal does not come around every day, and this is the buy and go to the beach signal from CoinsKid. I mean, look at that. Okay, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. That's your buy and go to the beach signal. That's a confirmation that you're in a bull trend. Okay, you're in a reversal, you're in an uptrend, you've bottomed out basically. This is the statement and the signal that we've been anticipating and waiting for. So right now, is Bitcoin, okay, the question is Bitcoin about to enter a super cycle, okay, or is it about to roll back to a key level of support just here, like this, find support, build up more momentum, and then break through? Because if we take a look at the 4 hourly time frame here for Bitcoin, you can see you are running into a wall. It does look a little bit like a rising wedge, to be honest with you, just here, okay, a tightening rising wedge. So potentially, you know, this is where you could see the rollback to this level of support down here, which is at 36,549. That would be perfectly healthy for Bitcoin if it did do that and came down. I want to reassure you that would be absolutely perfectly healthy, because at that point, if you did come down to that particular level of support just there, because we do have a bearish divergence on the RSI, okay, so you've got the lower highs in the RSI and you've got the high highs in the price. It's tightening. You know, this is a very negative bearish pattern, to be honest with you, and potentially if you do roll out here, I've given you a breakdown target of 36 down here. I'll drop this in for you, okay? This is a potential target. If you was to see the roll, these obviously can break out, but you can see how overextended you are getting on the daily time frame right here for Bitcoin, okay? So switch back to the daily, you can see that we're getting really overextended on the daily from the EMAs. We've not back tested them for a long time. So do anticipate, look where the EMAs are right now, right where our target is. So, you know, we are running into the brick wall of this level of resistance, okay? I'm not saying it will fall back. Honestly, you know, we could absolutely melt faces here, but, you know, from a logical standpoint, we are getting very overextended. The RSI on the daily time frame is shot up above 74. So it's beginning to look a little bit unhealthy, to be honest with you, and a rollback to support is vital at this point, because this is how you get the continuation and prevent this ABC theory that you're going to see thrown around. Look, A, B, C, bear market down here, okay? So we do need to see a pullback relatively soon for Bitcoin. Come back test the key level support, because with that, that's where you're going to get that confirmation and continuation of this trend, okay, that Bitcoin finds itself in. And hopefully we've found the bottom just here for Bitcoin down here, okay? We found the bottom, roll back to a level of support, i.e. the EMAs, the 20, boom, break that level of resistance, see you later. Because like I said to you, one of the main levels of resistance that you do need to see broken for Bitcoin, okay, is this. I'll show you right now. That's your cycle top just there. So just here, you do need to see Bitcoin. You could almost say that it has, well, it's not quite ran into that level of resistance of 050, because this is very common with a dead cat bounce. You're fully aware of that. I've shown you that in a previous video, where when you rally, you create a bottom, you come up, you run into the 050, and then you continue with a trend. Basically you force lower because you're bouncing dead cat bounce. Now what you do need to see is this level of resistance broken and this level of resistance broken, most importantly, because if you do start to break that, the golden ratio, you're looking at reversal wave. Okay, I've already shown you that. So what I am expecting here, the healthy retracement for Bitcoin would be to fall back to a key level of support, i.e. the 20 EMA on the daily would be a beautiful entry point for continuation, where you would come back up and build the momentum, possibly creating this right shoulder of this big inverse head and shoulders for getting a break and breaking these levels of resistance. Because if you break that level of resistance right there for Bitcoin, you are looking golden. Okay, you're going to come up and retest the all-time high in a big reversal wave. And also, I think I said to you yesterday, didn't I, about the VPVR. We're taking a look at that on a daily time frame. You can see there's not much resistance or support between the two. So you're right here at this level. You know, if you look at this, you could absolutely just melt up to this particular level of resistance just there, getting through the golden ratio. You know, it could exceed all expectations, and at that point you have to slow down. You do something like this, you've got to slow down there for Bitcoin. Hover on the golden ratio, hold it support, build up steam and momentum, boom, see you later. Bull market, full mode right there. Okay, so yeah, who says crypto is boring? Okay, there's not much resistance and support here. Like I said to you, this cluster here is so vital at the moment, and this is what Bitcoin's running into. So is a drawback going to come? I would like a drawback to come, to be honest with you, because for me, if you do get the drawback and you hold it as support, you're going to absolutely melt through this, okay, and you're going to come up and create that big reversal wave, and it offers us more of an opportunity to set a long down there on this level as well, to to make more money going forward. So who knows? Watch this space, but Bitcoin is super bullish, isn't it? Take care, everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with another update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.